The Kell Brook versus Amir Khan fight still hasn't been made, and it doesn't seem to be getting any closer to being made. There seems to be a lot of stipulations put in place by Amir Khan if the fight were to be made, or negotiations that are going on for the fight. Amir Khan seems like he's the one that maybe doesn't want the fight as much as Kell. Kell Brook seems to want the fight, he'll even take it at 147, but then, as soon as he says he'll take it at 147, Amir Khan adds more stipulations saying that he wants a rehydration clause, which I guess you could say is fair enough, but then, Amir Khan is struggling to make 147 himself, so why is that a problem? If they have the fight at 147, they both weigh in at 147, there's not a problem. Obviously there is some controversy about the weigh-ins and fighters gaining so much weight overnight for the fight after the weigh-in, but that shouldn't be an issue for this fight really. They both are naturally coming from the welterweight division. I know that Amir Khan started at a lighter weight than Kell Brook, but still, he is a welterweight fighter, but he's struggling to make the weight, so what is his problem with this rehydration clause and making Kell Brook drain down to 147? Have the fight at 150. It'd be easier for Amir Khan to make weight, and obviously easier for Kell Brook to make weight, and I'm not trying to make it seem like Amir Khan doesn't really want the fight. I think, to be honest, I don't really think it's at the top of his priority list, and I am an Amir Khan fan, so I'm not deliberately attacking Amir Khan and trying to go after him, but I think the person that wants to fight more is Kell Brook, because he's the one who's saying he will go down to 147, and he's willing to play to Amir Khan's tune to make this fight, get this fight over the line. But Amir Khan, he seems to be putting these things in place. Maybe he's trying to just make Kell Brook look small or feel small in the negotiation stage and just show Kell Brook that I am number one. But, it's a risky game to play because obviously Kell Brook, he has a career and he has aspirations still as a boxer, so he's going to want to go on and maybe challenge for a world title, so he isn't going to hang around forever. And obviously Amir Khan has aspirations also to win another world title, but this fight means more than world titles. It would be the biggest fight of each of their careers, and it's not for a belt, it's not for a world title, it's the most lucrative fight also. This would be a career-defining fight for both of them. And really, if it's a close fight, even if it goes late, even if one of them gets stopped late, they've done themselves proud, and they can always look back on that as a fond experience, that it was a close fight. Obviously, if one of them gets sparked out in a couple of rounds, most likely that would be Amir Khan. Yeah, it's not so great, and I think that's what Amir Khan's worried about, is getting knocked out by his foe, Kell Brook. And maybe that is kind of what is fueling this stipulations that he's trying to put into the contract, like obviously the weight hydration and bringing him down to 147. Amir Khan isn't going to be making 147 for much longer, let me tell you that. And if I'm honest, at this stage of their careers, respected careers, obviously they both are previous world champions, I think Amir Khan has 2, maybe at a push 3 fights left in him. He doesn't have long left, whereas Kell Brook maybe has 4 or 5 fights left in him. And they both are a similar age, but the thing that matters the most is Kell Brook, his style ages better than Amir Khan's. Amir Khan relies a lot on reflexes and speed and movement, all of which diminish over age. And obviously hard training camps and injuries, everything else plays a part also as you get older. Whereas obviously Kell Brook, with his positioning and timing, it's going to age a lot better. Look at Tony Bellew, 35, and yet he's still a great boxer. He's only getting better. But obviously he's not as athletically gifted as he once was because he's getting older. But his style ages a lot better. That is what allows him to improve, is just his boxing brain is improving over time. That is why he is becoming a better fighter. And it's the same thing with Kell Brook. But obviously Amir Khan isn't so lucky, where he relies on different gifts and different skills to get him through his fights. So obviously there's that as well. Amir Khan is going to have to get this fight through pretty quick. I think if it doesn't happen in the next couple of fights, or I don't think if it doesn't happen next year, it's not going to happen at all, which is a great shame because we need this fight to happen. Both of them need this fight to happen because we're always going to wonder what if. And in 10 years' time, they're going to look back and regret it if they don't make this fight. What do you guys think? Can we get this fight over the line? We as fans, we can. We just have to shout loud enough to make the fight happen. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Please also like, share and subscribe to the channel. Crunch Boxing and Sport.